Hello everyone, it is time for a new video, and today I'm going to be doing something I haven't done in a while, which is a wrap up. And of course it's for January and it is going to be a little bit late. I was planning on doing this and then I just kind of forgot and lost track of time, but now we're here. I read some amazing books. I had a wonderful reading month, and so I want to share it with you. Yeah, I was in a reading slump at the beginning. I was trying to get out of it, and honestly, I think I did. And I made a reading vlog where I read quite a few of these, so I'm gonna link it down below. I think it was my last video. Finally read some different genres and had more variety in my reading, and it was absolutely amazing. So let's just jump straight in and talk about all the books. So the first book that I finished, I'm gonna go chronologically, is Muted by Miranda Munt, and I devoured the first volume of this in like at the very end of December. And I just, thanks to this, I uncovered some like absolute gems within like graphic novels. So one of the main reasons I wasn't a reading slump is I was just reading adult contemporary romance basically, and I didn't realize for like way too long. I should have realized that like I've always liked reading a variety of genres. Like of course not everything there is, but like multiple things, and graphic novels are a big thing that I love. And you know, I just like felt like I was in a fantasy slump and whatever, and I just felt like I didn't want to read the other things, but I absolutely did, and I absolutely do. And so there are so many graphic novels that started on Webtoon and have been published as like normal physical books, and this one is one of them. And so I have found many others that like some of which I'm gonna mention, and I'm so happy. And I'm so happy because I adored every second of this, and I need to continue and devour all of it because like I do think it's complete on Webtoon. It's just that like obviously it's being published in the books as like, you know, over time. And yeah, so anyway, this series is basically, I would say, like urban fantasy, and there are witches and these different like witch families, and the magic is so like beautiful and magical. And there is like found family and hints of romance that definitely is like super slow burn, but it is sapphic, it is super sweet, and basically the main character lost her family and she has to live with her aunt who is abusive, and she finally escapes that family and finds, you know, home and love somewhere else, and it's just the most beautiful thing ever. It is comforting and lovely. The art is stunning, and it's literally everything I could ever want in a graphic novel. And so loved this, highly recommend it, absolute perfection. And I'm so happy because I desperately needed this because I love graphic novels so much, and I could never have enough, to be honest. And if you have any recommendations, please let me know. Okay, next one that I finished is Honey and Heat by Aurora Palit. And this is an adult contemporary romance, but it's one of a very small amount actually, because I did try to stay away from it this month for obviously the reasons I mentioned, because I felt like I burned out of it. Like I do love it, of course, and I enjoy it, but I was reading too much of it, you know? And anyway, I did love this book, and so I actually read it for a video that I still have not been able to finish. But this is an office romance, which I have been also looking for a while, because I feel like it's quite hard to find it in a way that is super fun and like has kind of like that fantasy, you know, of like the office vibes and whatever, but at the same time is not toxic. And you know, but this was one of them, you know, this was great and I really enjoyed it. And so basically it starts with a one-night stand where they like don't know each other at all. And then after that, she finds out that he got a job at the company that she's been working at, that her dad owns, but she works really hard there and she's not really respected. So, you know, a man who has been working there for a lot shorter gets, you know, her father's recognition and gets the promotion. And so it kind of turns into a hate to love situation. I loved it, honestly. It felt like a very mature romance in the sense that both of the main characters were mature, and there was eventually some like good communication and it was steamy and fun. I did very much enjoy this, even despite my, you know, contemporary slump. So definitely check that one out. Then I finally read some historical romances. So the first one was After Dark with the Duke by Julie Anne Long. I have read and loved some Julie Anne Long books, and I kind of just you know, ran into this one, got the audiobook, and, you know, loved it, devoured it. And so I'm just gonna read you some of the notes that I have here because it is like 10:30 p.m. right now and I don't have that many brain cells and I don't want this to take too long. So she has a scandalous reputation and he's a serious, uptight duke who doesn't get close to people easily. They're basically in this like, I don't know what to call it, like boarding house. He is talking to you know, some other people and says something offensive about her, and then he feels bad and he offers to teach her Italian to make up for it. It's also an age gap. And it was just super addicting, you know, it was just lighthearted and fun and such a page turner. It's not that long. I think it's like 300 pages or 350 maybe. And so very much enjoyed this. And honestly, I always say this, I feel like historical romance is perfect for like the colder months when everything's a little bit depressing, because they do actually feel very cozy and comforting and just such easy reads, and I really do want to read them a lot more again, which I always say, but like I just really need to do it. And I did read others, which I'm actually going to mention the other one right now, which was also Julie Anne Long. And this does not happen often that I read like not only the same genre twice in a row, but like especially the same series or the same author. Like I just, you know, my mood switches like that. But I loved that one so much, I was just like, I need another one. So in this book, did I say the name? I don't think I did. The Beast Takes a Bride by Julie Anne Long. And in this one, it starts with the hero getting the heroine out of prison, and she is his estranged wife. And basically, they were never married for long because the way that the like wedding and marriage happened, the heroine didn't like very much how it all evolved, and so they separated quickly, you know, had a conflict and stuff. They reunite after a long time and have to spend time together again, and it was amazing. You know, it was steamy, angsty, full of yearning, and a lot of the like, you know, that's my wife moments, and I just ate it up and I loved every second. And like, I feel like Julie Anne Long is not a historical author that I hear that many people talk about. Maybe it's just me, but you should absolutely check out this series. I am reading it completely out of order. I do think the other books will be good as well because I've literally enjoyed every single book that I've read by this author, so definitely check it out. Then I read one more contemporary romance, which was On Guard by Kels and Denise Stone, and I actually started this in December, and then I just felt like I was so slow because I needed, you know, to read the other genres. But I did really enjoy this. This was very highly anticipated for me because it sounded and looked so good. I'm obsessed with this cover and I'm obsessed with the concept, and I did really like this book. And so we have an actress and a hero who does professional fencing, but he gets in trouble and he is suspended for a year, and he helps out with this movie, and the heroine is supposed to play like a female Robin Hood, and so, you know, there's like sword fighting and all that fun stuff, and it actually takes part on the set a lot, which I love. If you have watched my videos before, you would know I love books about actors, and this focused on the acting a lot, and I loved every second. And of course, there's forced proximity, and they just had such good vibes together and amazing chemistry, and it was just very addicting and super fun, and I loved it. And I will absolutely be reading more books by these authors because this was great, and I honestly have not heard that many people talk about it, so definitely check it out. Then I read a paranormal romance, which was Son of the Morning by Akweke Emezi, which was actually the first book that I've ever read by Akweke Emezi, which I have had multiple of them on my TBR, but this one just was calling my name. It is their most recent release, and it just seemed super fun. And it was. And so it is a paranormal romance. The heroine has like magical powers that are very dangerous, and, you know, people are after her, and she meets Lucifer, who is like actually Lucifer. And so this has really cool magic, and it's super fun and kind of like a little angsty, very sexy, very addicting, and there's something about it that I don't think I want to say because it feels like a spoiler, and I was thrilled to find it out, but something in the romance has a little twist, and I ate it up. Like, I enjoyed the first half. There were a few small slow moments, but the second half, incredible. The second half was 10 out of 10. And so definitely check this one out if you would like to read a paranormal romance, but honestly one that feels kind of fresh and exciting, and it's not like just, you know, vampires, werewolves, which like of course I love as well, but like this was amazing, and so definitely pick it up. And I will, of course, be reading more books by this author because this was great. So then I read a adult fantasy romance. Who would have thought? And it was Daughter of Ties by Kate Rocha, and this was great. This was great as well. This is on Kindle Unlimited as an audiobook and an ebook, and I devoured it. So this is a polyamorous romance set at sea, and they're basically going on this like little journey to like on a diplomatic mission. And we have a sea nymph, a pirate, and the god of love. And he basically, the god of love is dying, and he sees these two people, the other two main characters, and he kind of wants, you know, as like a last thing he does in his life, he wants to set them up while they're on this journey, and things go on from there. And it was just super fun and very addicting, and I loved the vibes, and the romance was great. And I love reading polyamorous romance, and of course we don't see it often in fantasy, and so this was amazing, and I will absolutely be reading the sequel to this. It is like a duology, but it's sort of wrapped up, you know, and so didn't give me like a horrible cliffhanger or anything, but I am looking forward to the next book. And Kit Rocha actually has other fantasy romances or like paranormal romance as well, and so I'm excited to read those as well. Next book that I read is another webtoon graphic novel, which was Daybreak by Moosop, and this was absolutely adorable. This is basically like a contemporary YA romance coming of age story, and it's sort of like slice of life and kind of slow moving, but so comforting, so cute. And it's a queer black love romance. One of the main characters starts like just making food for the other and you know, they start hanging out more and spending time together, and they become friends, and then they slowly fall in love. And once again, I adore the art style, and it was just so wholesome and so comforting, and I loved it so much. And I will absolutely be continuing this as well, and you should check it out for sure. So next book is Don't Let Your Dukes Grow Up to Be Scoundrels by Louisa Darling, which once again, I read another historical romance. Like, I am so happy. This was actually a new to me author, and I'm so excited to read more of her books. And the heroine is in desperate need for money for her family, and the hero is broke, and he is a duke, but he hides his identity in front of her. And so this definitely has like the hidden identity trope, and kind of like forbidden romance in the sense that like they know that, you know, they can't be together because it's not mutually beneficial or whatever, you know what I mean. And I loved it. It was so great. Also such a quick addicting read and such a good romance, and I absolutely loved it, and I will be reading more books in this series. Then guess what? I read another graphic novel from Webtoon, which is The Cursed Princess Club by Lambcat, and this one didn't blow my mind just yet. I do think it's gonna get a lot better as the volumes go on. But I do like the concept. So we have these princesses that are supposed to kind of maybe get betrothed to some princess, and one of the main characters is not like conventionally attractive, and so she does not really realize that until like one of the princes makes a comment and stuff, and then she wanders into this forest and finds these other princesses that all have flaws, that, you know, they have a princess club where they all just kind of hang out and, you know, are each other's like safe space. And so I love that concept, and, you know, all of that. It felt kind of young to me, I would say. So definitely young adult. We will see how it develops, and I will definitely continue it. But I did feel like I just wanted a little more. But of course, I feel like, especially on the webtoon, things can be like very slow burn, and not even just like in a romance sense, but just in a evolutionary sense, where it takes time for the things to evolve. But honestly, like, I read another one that I'll mention in a second where it actually develops very slowly, but in a way that eventually makes so much sense, and it's actually so right for the story. So I will be reading more. Didn't blow my mind, but people do love it, so I would still say you should check it out. So the other one that I just mentioned is The Kisbet by Ingrid Okuwa. This one is a YA contemporary coming-of-age romance, I would say, as well. And we basically have, like, our main character has never been kissed before, and she makes it a mission that, you know, with a new high school year starting, she is gonna kiss someone. And so it, like, chaos ensues, honestly. This isn't even a love triangle. There's basically 3 possible love interests and a lot of side characters. It is absolutely chaotic. This one definitely, like, I enjoyed the first volume. It was super cute. Love the art. Absolutely adorable. But I wasn't sure where the story was going, you know, and like all of that. But honestly, I'm just gonna tell you right now, even though I didn't read it all in a row, but I did read volume 2 and 3 as well. Volume 2, I definitely enjoyed more, and volume 3, I am actually loved so much, and I want to keep reading for sure, because I need to know what happens, and that's what I meant when I said that, like, at the beginning, I didn't know where it was going, but it felt like there was like a lot of foreshadowing and like things slowly falling into place. And I'm absolutely loving that. And honestly, I feel like now in the 3rd volume, the main character was more focused on like figuring herself out before knowing who she wants to be with and all those things. And even though like it's literally like where I'm at, she's not together with anybody. But it feels right because, you know, it can't be rushed, and I can't wait for her to be in a relationship, but like it is so good, and so I'm absolutely loving it. Definitely just keeps getting better and better, and it is just incredibly wholesome and fun, but at the same time, as it goes on, it starts to be really meaningful and sweet and relatable in many ways as well, and so definitely check this one out as well. Then I read I'll Pretend You're Mine by Tashi Buyan, and oh my god, I can't believe it took me so long. I absolutely loved the author's previous 2 books and like literally devoured them, and I absolutely devoured this one as well. It is a YA contemporary romance, but definitely feels like on the older side, and so like that was the case with the previous books as well, and I obviously love that because like I do enjoy reading YA, but as an adult I obviously like it when it's a little bit older, and so this was incredible. So the main character turns 18 at the beginning of the book, and she is a singer, and so she, like, when she turns 18, she drops her parents as her managers because they are very toxic, and so she kind of like, you know, leaves them and finds a new manager and a new apartment and tries to build her life and heal from all of those things. And at the same time, she starts fake dating this actor, and it is just absolutely beautiful. It definitely feels a lot like coming of age and a romance in the best way, and you know, there's some amazing friendships and other side characters, and just so much healing and so much beautiful, meaningful stuff happening. It is also an interracial romance where the female main character is Bangladeshi American, the male character is Iranian American. There's also pansexual representation within our female main character, and it deals with anxiety a lot. And all of these things, like, it just all clicks so well, and it is just such a beautiful story, and I loved every second of it. Literally absolutely perfect, and I need more people to read books by this author because like they are so good. And I can't wait for more. There's gonna be one releasing this year, and that I think she's coming out with like some like fantasy or something in a different genre that I'm so excited for. So absolutely definitely pick this one up. Then the next book, which was a standout for me this month as well, and the only physical book that I actually read, which I did not realize. And it's definitely something to keep in mind because of course I love audiobooks and ebooks, but like I also love physical reading and I really want to get through my physical TBR. But this was like, I'm just gonna tell you and then I'm gonna explain. So I read Void Walker by S.I. McLean, and oh my god. So this is an adult romantasy that I finally read and I finally loved, and I'm so excited, and I do think it unlocked something inside me. That I am ready to devour more adult fantasy romance and find ones that I love because this was wonderful and I need more. I need those feelings. I loved every second of this. So we have Phi and Antal, and I don't know how to pronounce his name, but that's just how I'm gonna do it. And Phi is a smuggler and a void walker, and so in this world she like travels through portals and stuff to smuggle things for different jobs. And Antal is a creature of this like Dayari kind of people who basically like are descended from humans, but they are carnivores and they have to eat humans. And so they are kind of like the leaders in different states and stuff, and they have a deal that like they will leave the humans alone, but once they need something in exchange they're gonna offer a sacrifice. And kind of an unhinged concept, but like this was incredible. And so Phi is hired for this like suspicious job where she has to smuggle basically a bomb to the city where Antel is like the lord of, and so it like destroys the whole city, and he finds her and he's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna kill you, but you're gonna help me figure out who's behind this. And so they start working together. It of course starts as enemies to lovers, but I loved the romance in this. It's incredible. It's angsty and fun and steamy, and there's like a lot of funny moments as well, but at the same time there's obviously so much tension in the story, a lot of danger, and there's some great side characters, and like, oh my god, I loved everything about this. And it was exactly what I want romantasy to be, you know, like a well-developed world and a lot of things going on and high stakes, but at the same time the romance is solid. It is the focus of the story. It is incredible and just absolutely iconic. Both of the main characters are queer as well. There's no labels or anything, super casual, but I absolutely loved every second of this. And so you should absolutely pick it up because I have not heard anyone talk about it. And like the author described this as a monster romance. Like it is, but also like I don't like monster romance, and I feel like this didn't feel like intensely monster. And I loved it anyway. So please pick this book up because I need S.A. McLean to be able to write a lot more books, because this was absolutely iconic. Last but not least, I read Like in Love with You by Emma R. Albin, and this is an author I've been wanting to read for a little while. And it is the third book in the series, and I actually own the first two physically. Guess what I did instead? I listened to the third one on audio. And I don't know, you know, like I just really tried to mood read and follow my heart wherever it leads me, and it led me to this book, and it was super fun. So it is basically pitched as like, you know, Mean Girls but in a historical era. If Katie and Regina just kissed was like a pitch there, and it's rivals to lovers. They're supposed to court the same man. Their mothers hate each other. They're supposed to fight over this man, but they fall in love instead. And it was so much fun, like very addicting and a great solid romance. And I would say this one focuses a lot on like side characters and a lot of things happening. So if you like things happening outside of the romance, definitely check this one out. But I did really enjoy this. And it's obviously sapphic. I don't think I said that. And it was just so good. And so definitely check this out. And I will be going back to read the other books. And I think the author's coming out with another one this year. So yeah, so I'm gonna stop talking now because this is long enough, but these are the books that I read and I had a great time. So hopefully, I mean, honestly, I have been having a great time in February as well. So you will be hearing about that hopefully next month. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you read any great books in January, and if you made it this far in the video, leave a candle emoji down below. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye!